Young people here in Rwanda have been urged to learn from the lessons of the past. And on the international scene, Iran is facing water and power shortages during the summer heat. Now straight to the details. Thank you for taking the time to join us. 250 young people from different districts gathered at Gisozi in Kigali, where they held discussions with various people, including soldiers who served in the United Nations Assistance Mission for Rwanda, or UNAMIR, during the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. The discussions aimed to teach the youth lessons of heroism and humanity so that they can become a foundation for a future built on strong history and values. Participants shared the lessons they took away from the event. Now, some of the former soldiers testified that while some countries, including Belgium, decided to withdraw their troops, leaving the Tutsi to be killed, others chose to remain in Rwanda under the UN mission. They said they made that decision fully aware of the risks it could bring to them.
We did not stay because we had superior weapons or a clear mandate. In truth, we had neither. We stayed because there was something deep within us, something beyond protocol or orders. And something told us that not to walk away from Rwanda or abandon the country and abandon shared humanity. We were witnesses to machetes that silenced innocent lives. We saw churches, once sacred, turned into killing chambers. The smell of death haunted us. The screams, many of them children, still echo in our memory. And yet, amid this horror, we also saw extraordinary acts of bravery from ordinary people such as Rwandans and hidden neighbors.
The Rwanda Defense Force spokesperson, Brigadier General Ronald Rwivanga, praised the troops from Senegal and Ghana who refused to reduce their numbers despite a UN request to do so.
These were not passive observers. These were active protectors, risking everything without international backing, guided only by conscience and values, empathy, collective responsibility, and human dignity. Today, we have the privilege. I want you to ask yourself some questions. What would I have done in their place? And more importantly, what will I do now in my own time to stand for truth and humanity? In years to come, when people speak of your generation, the youth, may they say that you stood firm when it mattered most, and that you upheld the same courage and humanity we honor here today. So let us begin not as an audience and speakers, but as a shared circle of learners, storytellers, and custodians of truth.
The director of the Department for Remembrance and the Fight Against Genocide at the Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement, Veneranda Ingabire, said that the courage showed by those who served in the peacekeeping mission in Rwanda was a significant step in supporting Rwanda and Rwandans.
This tour is our way of saying thank you, of showing you the nation that has risen from the ashes, and of reaffirming that your actions were a vital part of our journey to healing and rebuilding. We hope that this week will bring you a sense of peace and pride in the profound legacy you have left behind. Your actions have provided one of the most powerful and enduring lessons for future generations and peacekeepers. You taught the world that a uniform does not strike a person of humanity. You showed that true peacekeeping is not about following a set of rigid rules, but about exercising moral judgment and taking decisive actions where lives are on the line. Your story as a constant and necessary reminder to all of international bodies that peacekeeping must be rooted in a deep sense of moral responsibility and a commitment to protect the vulnerable no matter the cost. To the youth here present, specifically Rwandan youth and others, please look at these men. They are not just heroes of a distant past, they are living examples of what it means to be a person of character.
7 former UNAMIS soldiers who served during the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi are currently in Rwanda for a week-long visit, during which they will tour various places across the country. Now, the Rwanda Development Board has begun the countdown to when the country will be hosting the UCI Road World Championships and is highlighting iconic tourist attractions for those who will follow this extraordinary event, during which Rwanda will make history by hosting a world-class competition. With only a short time left before the UCI Road World Championships to take place here in Rwanda, preparations are in full swing, both for the infrastructure that will be used and other arrangements. A statement released by RDB emphasized that this championship is a great opportunity for visitors who will be in Rwanda, as well as those planning to visit, encouraging them to explore the beauty of the country through the Visit Rwanda program. Samson Daishimie, the president of the Rwanda Cycling Federation, or FERGWASI, has said that this is a major milestone and that Rwandan cyclists should be ready to participate. He has also urged Rwandans to come out in force and watch the race in person and enjoy what the country has prepared for them. The city of Kigali's spokesperson, that is Emma Claudine Nirenganya, has observed that the preparations are going well, both in terms of infrastructure for the athletes and arrangements for hosting guests from around the world. She has added that this race will not just be about competition, but will also serve as a showcase for Kigali's positive image. She has called on residents to follow the guidelines given to them so that the country's image remains protected. The UCI Road World Championships, which have been held for the past 124 years in various cities worldwide, are scheduled for the first time in Rwanda from the 21st to the 28th of September and will take place on various roads in Kigali. In addition to the breathtaking city of Kigali, ranked among the cleanest and safest in the world, RDB has encouraged spectators of the World Championships to visit Rwanda's national parks, these being the Volcanoes National Park, home of the mountain gorilla, the Akagera National Park, home of the Big Five, and the Nyungwe National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site with over 300 bird species and the source of up to 70% of Rwanda's water. Now, Rwandan exhibitors participating in the Kigali International Trade Fair taking place at Gikondo say that the event has given them the opportunity to showcase what products made in Rwanda have sufficient quality to compete on the market compared to imported goods. William Evans Mutabazi with the details.
The Kigali International Trade Fair, which has been going on in Gikondo, is set to conclude in one day. Over the past 2 weeks, the fair has provided a valuable platform for exhibitors to display and sell their products, especially for local manufacturers. Exhibiting in this year's expo means a lot to us. Firstly, a big number of people who come here are surprised that our products are made in Rwanda. This is because they are used to only clothes that have patterns or bitenge fabrics and other clothes that have an African touch. We, however, are unique in that we do all that, but also manufacture what many people consider second-hand clothes from other countries. We manufacture them at both good quality and prices.
We are producing quality and which lasts longer compared to the Chinese products. More so, this is an advantage to Rwandans and the Rwandan construction industry because these materials are Rwandan manufactured here from Rwanda. That stands as a chance, meaning there will be cost cutting compared to those transferring from China, like importing from China to Rwanda, which takes a long time. So that's an added advantage for us here, and that's a credit that goes to HU Aquaplastics.
These traders explain that the trade fair has served as a strong benchmark for comparing locally made products with those abroad, both in quality and prices. What we did at our factory is to work in groups. This lowered our cost of production. Today, our cost of production and that from the Chinese are almost the same. This means that we also have the capacity to manufacture many clothes, and because of this, we have clothes ranging from 2,000 to 10,000 here, and these are of good quality. Beyond the cost of production that is low, we have also been supported by the good government policies and tax exemptions that help us import raw materials and only pay for their transportation. All these contribute to making our production more affordable and competitive in the market.
When you're doing something, you always don't expect a lot, but for us as HU Aquaplastics, our expectation is to make Rwanda a self-sustainable country, whereby in most cases we are able to manufacture our own stuff we can use in everything. Basically, our goal is to make Rwanda a self-sustainable country, and that's our goal, and satisfying the people of Rwanda with our own made Rwandan products.
Visitors to the fair say the products made in Rwanda showcased this year stand out compared to the previous editions. They note that locally made goods exhibited this time have high standards and quality, with prices lower than some of the imported items. To be honest, I think our clothes are better than those from other countries. I have been to Kenya, Uganda, India and China, but our made in Rwanda products are better and affordable. These people have clothes of 2,500, those of 6,000 and some dresses at 10,000 for women. These are good and affordable, which is a good thing. I have been here for a number of times. At first, they were a bit pricey, but now a lot of commodities are so discounted. The Made in Rwanda analyst at Mincom, Alphonse Kwizera, says they have evidence showing that Rwandan-made products continue to improve in quality on the international market, as demonstrated in this year's expo. There is no way you can say that our products are substandard because there are standards put in place. In fact, if you remove the Made in Rwanda label and put our products on the same market, many would prefer them. But many are still biased by the Made in Rwanda label, thinking they are low-quality products. Products made in Rwanda continue to grow in number, driven by strong output from the manufacturing sector. The government of Rwanda aims to keep increasing domestic industrial production by at least 10.4% each year. This will be supported by increased investment, which is expected to account for at least 33.1% of the country's GDP by 2029. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
The city of Kigali has set a target to generate 80 billion Rwandan francs through taxes and other forms of revenue. Achieving this goal will require strong collaboration between the staff in the economic department of the city and taxpayers in Rwanda's capital. In the previous fiscal year, the city of Kigali had set a target of generating 60 billion Rwandan francs. After reaching that goal, the capital raised its ambitions. The new objective is to generate 80 billion, with taxes and other fees expected to increase by 20% in the 2025-2026 fiscal year. The city's leadership recently brought together employees from the Economic Development Department, giving them the responsibility to do everything possible to meet the target. In the 2025-2026 fiscal year, Kigali plans to operate with a budget of over 250 billion Rwandan francs. If the city manages to collect the targeted 80 billion, it will have reached a level of generating nearly 1/3 of its annual budget. Now, in Kinigi, Musanze district, where the annual Kwitizina gorilla naming ceremony is traditionally held, preparations for the 20th edition have reached an encouraging 75% completion rate. Residents living near the Volcanoes National Park say their preparations have provided them with jobs that help improve their families' livelihoods. At the Kinigi grounds, which will host thousands of people attending this year's ceremony, activities are in full swing. Artists, masons, cleaners and others, many of them real residents living near the park, are grateful for this employment opportunity. Locals recall that since 2005, when the government of Rwanda launched the first Kwitizina ceremony, initiated by His Excellency the President of the Republic, they have gained a deep understanding of the importance of protecting the biodiversity within the park. The ongoing preparations have created jobs for around 250 people, 95% of whom are residents near the park. This year's edition is expected to have unique features. The 20th Kwitizina ceremony is scheduled for the 5th of September. This year, 40 baby gorillas will be given names. Now, local leaders in Kayonza district are taking part in discussions aimed at helping them to better understand how to support people affected by the genocide against the Tutsi, as well as those facing various conflicts largely rooted in Rwanda's past. Participants say that in the course of delivering services to residents, they often encounter challenges such as disputes, genocidal ideologies, trauma linked to the genocide, and other consequences related to the genocide against the Tutsi, all of which require proper approaches to address. The organization Never Again Rwanda is working with Kayonza's local leaders to help them identify the origins of such conflicts, recognize genocidal ideologies, and respond effectively, mainly through dialogue sessions. Kayonza district's leadership has been pointing out that local authorities close to the communities need enhanced skills given their responsibility to assist the people they serve. The research conducted by Never Again Rwanda in 2021 revealed that the Rwandan society still experiences conflicts rooted in the consequences of the genocide against the Tutsi. The findings showed that 42% of the conflicts stem from people having lost their families, while 19% involve mutual harassment based on ethnicity. Now, the National Bank of Rwanda has given assurances that by the end of the current fiscal year of 2025-2026, every district in the country will have merged its Umurenge Sacco cooperatives into one district-level Sacco. Currently, only 7 out of 30 districts nationwide have completed the merger, with members there saying it has improved service delivery. We have more with William Evans Mutabazi.
In Gasabo district, Isoko Sacco merged 15 SACCOs that used to operate in all the sectors of the district. According to Jackson Kwikriza, the executive director of the Association of Microfinance Institutions in Rwanda, the merger is intended to cater for members who have outgrown Umurenge SACCOs.
SACCOs have been serving the clients, and most of these clients seem to outgrow these institutions. They started getting, for example, a loan of 1 million, graduate to 2 million, to 5 million. You reach a point where you need, for example, 50 million, and this SACCO cannot give you 50 million. And we want you to grow or to remain in this channel of the cooperative movement. That's why we are working on consolidation, to have SACCOs in a district consolidated, come up with one big SACCO at a district, and this SACCO will have at least 3 main mandates. One, to ensure that the branches now, the Umurenge SACCO, which will be branches now, they set very clear performance indicators, key performance indicators for the branch, so that they have products, they have services that they can support their members down at the grassroots. Secondly is to be able to provide good service or a loan to now these big clients that the SACCO at Umurenge cannot be able to support or to service.
The leadership of Isoko Sacco Gasabo says the merger has also increased the amount of loans granted to its members.
SACCO bitewe n'umutungo yabaga ifite kuko zari zitandukanye muri izo SACCO 15.
Depending on the SACCO's financial situation, a big number of them could not afford above 10 million on average. Because of the merging now, we can offer up to 200 million Rwandan francs in loans, and all members have an advantage of getting whatever loan amounts they need without having to shift to other banks. Residents say that compared to before, they now find it easier to access services and in a timely manner. At first, the process was very hard. You would come, then be required to look for registers, and if you are going to withdraw your money, it would be a lengthy process. But now, once you have arrived, you just give in your booklet and get whatever services you want, and then proceed with your other plans. They are now offering better services because we no longer have to queue up. Now you can do your transactions from any SACCO and continue with your day's work. So far, 100 Umurenge SACCO cooperatives from 7 districts, including the 3 districts of the city of Kigali, Gicumbi, Rwamagana, Nyamagabe, and Rubavu, have been merged into district-level SACCOs. The central bank projects that before 2025-2026 fiscal year ends, each district will have a single SACCO that brings together all the sector-level SACCOs in the district. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
Every journey has a beginning. From nature comes refreshing fruity goodness that keeps you going every day. With every pack complementing life's best moments. Not 1, not 2, but 5 different fruity flavors. And this journey keeps giving. Introducing Inyanji's new fruity juice flavors, guava and cocktail. Now available at your nearest shop. Always ask for Inyanji.
Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo wagira umukamo mwinshi utunze inkimi. Ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi hari abamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho. Ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. Njya muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza naturuka mu muryango wifashije. Ariko byaragiye nanditse amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema. Ariko narabishoboye. Hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abankomokaho, ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye zibimamo. Bigereho.
It's the final day of a major African Union water summit as leaders race to tackle one of the continent's most pressing crises. In South Africa, some 3 million people do not have piped water at homes. Al Jazeera with the details.
Watch this. This is how easy it is to fill a water bottle in areas like this. But in other parts of the city, families wait hours to do the same thing. I'm in one of Cape Town's affluent suburbs where water is constant and clean. But just a few kilometers away is a different story. This is Khayelitsha, one of the largest and poorest townships in South Africa. In communities like this, water is not only scarce, it's often unreliable. This is the main water source for many families here. Today, the water may be clean. Tomorrow, the pressure might drop, or the tap might run dry for days. About 3 million people in South Africa still don't have access to basic piped water. More than 10% rely on communal taps. It must be difficult to have to go out and get water every day.
It's very, very difficult. Reason being so, it's because we live at a distance. So we have to walk to the main tap, and it's really far. Example, we cannot, by 6 o'clock you have to be at home already, not getting any water, because you might be exposed to crime as such as being raped, being kidnapped. Yeah, so when it comes to water, we really have a hard time.
And this is one of the better provinces, the Western Cape. There are other provinces in South Africa where access to water has actually declined. In the past year, more than a third of households reported water interruptions lasting more than 2 days. For these families, water is not guaranteed, and without change, that gap between Cape Town's haves and have-nots will only grow wider. The difference between this street and the one I visited earlier isn't just geographical. It's about investment, infrastructure, and inequality. Famida Miller, Al Jazeera, Cape Town.
Iran is facing water and power shortages during the summer heat. With low dam levels and routine electricity cuts, the pressure is mounting on the government in that country to address the problem. Al Jazeera once more.
For many Iranians, this summer has been more difficult to endure than previous ones. The country is facing a water crisis, and the days are harder when the power shortages disrupt everyday life. In Tehran, the warnings are growing louder. Officials say reserves in the main dams supplying drinking water have dropped to just 12%, barely enough to last to the end of summer. In the past, Iran's average annual precipitation has been around 1/3 of the global average.
There is an imbalance across the country, but in some provinces the situation could become critical if we do not observe water restrictions. For example, in Tehran, the city has grown rapidly and the water available is not sufficient for this population.
Some argue that the solution begins not in the cities but in the fields, where agriculture remains the largest drain.
We only have one option, which is to reduce water consumption and focus on agriculture, which accounts for 80 to 90% of our national water usage. This demands a new water governance system that engages all stakeholders, from agriculture, industry and the private sector.
Iran's power grid is under pressure. To reduce consumption, the government resorts to public holidays and rolling blackouts from time to time. But energy experts say patchwork solutions will not work without tackling the root causes.
One of our core challenges lies in the low-cost energy subsidies, leading to excessive consumption. Other major issues include inefficient supply, urban-driven demand growth, poor infrastructure, and low power plant efficiency, all contributing to an energy imbalance.
Whatever the reasons, for businesses the outages are not just inconvenient, but also costly.
We're facing daily power outages. It used to be every other day, but now it's on a daily basis for 1.5, 2 hours. If you can't work for 2 hours, it's a loss.
For a society already suffering under economic hardship, the lack of water and power adds another layer of burden. Water and energy shortages are becoming more and more severe in Iran. Many here say stopgap solutions are not sufficient anymore, and that decisive action and long-term solutions are needed now. Toida Sedi, Al Jazeera, Tehran.
Before we go, let us again take a look at the headlines. Young people here in Rwanda have been urged to learn from the lessons of the past. And as we just saw, Iran is facing water and power shortages during the summer heat. I hope you have a great weekend ahead of you. You'll be with William Evans Mutabazi for the news, so be sure to join him. I'll be seeing you soon again. Goodbye.